What's up, everybody? Welcome to the card review number 2. Today, Final Boss will be reviewing the 1980s Topps Rickey Henderson RC rookie card. One bite only, everybody knows the rules. So, Final Boss believes that this series is gonna be a big hit. So, Final Boss is reviewing one of the most iconic cards in the 1980s, early 1980s, the one and only Mr. Rickey Henderson rookie card, 1980 Topps. So, Final Boss believes that this is one of the most consequential cards because Final Boss believes Rickey Henderson is one of the most consequential players in modern baseball history. So let's just get straight down into it. Like I said, we have 5 different categories, criteria, in which we review the card and grade the card itself. Not this card in particular, but this year, this card, and this player. 1980 Topps Rickey Henderson, number 482. So the different criteria are visual appeal, scarcity or rarity, the merit of the player, the production of the player, the collectability of the player, and the X factor, which is some of the intangibles like the uniqueness of the card or the player, the charm, nostalgia, etc. So to explain the rules again, the rules is we're going to grade it at as a total possible points grade could be a 10. So let's get straight down into it. Visual appeal. This card is one of the most recognizable cards and one of the most sought after cards in the 1980s, early 1980s, I believe. I started collecting at the end of the 80s, so I was just a little bit past my time, but I'm sure this is one of the most iconic cards. The card is a nice looking card. It shows the low batting stance of Rickey Henderson. Look at, like, he's bending over, bending down. He's kind of crowding the plate without actually placing his feet too close to the strike zone, to the plate. To me, it's not the most beautiful Rickey Henderson card, but certainly his most famous card. If I had to give it a grade, I don't know, I didn't do it on purpose, but I just got the CSG, now CGC slab a couple years ago, and it just so happened to be green. You know, it's kind of ugly color, but it matches this color, actually, the card, and the color match of the top set. You know, the blue borders kind of like random, but you know, it's got the Southern California vibes, or the California vibes of Oakland, the green and yellow and white, and it's a sunny picture, and it kind of perfectly describes California, I guess. But I think this card is actually quite nice to look at. You know, the banner slightly going upwards, the batting stance, the lower batting stance, and kind of like stooping over, like, you know, at the curve of like the home run that he wants to hit, you know, something like that. So anyway, I think this is a nice looking card. Is it the most beautiful Rickey Henderson card? No, but certainly his most famous card. So if I had to give it a score for beauty or visual appeal, I will give it a 13 out of 20. Now, scarcity and rarity. This card was around the time that they started cranking out cards at the printing press. Start of the junk wax era started around this time, so it's pretty common. At the time of this recording, over 46,000 of this card were graded by PSA alone. It's not rare, it's not scarce. And interestingly, only 25 out of the 46,000 graded a PSA 10. So 10s are astoundingly rare for this card. Couple things could be the reason why. First off, like back in the day, you know, not everyone cared about the conditioning of the card. The kids played with the card, they put it in bikes books or whatnot. I'm sure there were top loaders or like semi-rigids, you know, starting to come out, but even then, kids were not probably like not the most, you know, careful with this card. And it makes sense that the stars are the ones that kids usually handle the most. So it makes sense that, you know, 10s are going to be extremely rare for this kind of card. But only 10 or 25 out of 46,000 of these card grading a PSA 10 seems a little bit fishy. There's some conspiracy theories saying that PSA is doing like pop control or whatnot. I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole, but even though there's 46,000 of this card that were graded by PSA alone, there are other companies graded more, right? So at least 46,000. Because the PSA 10s are so rare, I'm gonna give a higher grade to the Henderson RC for scarcity and rarity. It's got to count for something. I'll give the scarcity an 8 out of 20. I gave bonds only 5 out of 20. So okay, so anyway, it's not scarce, but in great high condition, good quality condition, it is scarce. So 7.5, even though it's not like a great score or grade, I'm happy with it. Might probably switch it over to another company eventually, maybe SGC. So anyway, next category or criteria is merit. Final Boss thinks that Rickey Henderson has all the merit in the world. Final Boss thinks that Rickey Henderson is one of the greatest leadoff hitters, the greatest leadoff hitter in all of MLB history. Final Boss knows that Rickey Henderson has the all-time most stolen bases record. Final Boss knows that and thinks that he's probably the greatest leadoff hitter of all baseball history, career 401 on-base percentage, 297 home runs. He has a little power. He has a little power for a leadoff. And 1,406 stolen bases. 1,406 stolen bases. The next person in line for this stolen bases record, you know how many stolen bases they have? Rickey Henderson has 1,406. Next in line, number 2, is Lou Brock at 938. So Rickey Henderson has 400 and a lot more, almost 500 more stolen bases than the next person in line. I think it's safe to say that Rickey Henderson will go down as the greatest base stealer of all time, and no one will catch up to him. Final Boss gives him, in merit, 20 out of 20. Bam. Next category, collectability. Final Boss believes that Rickey Henderson was not the most liked baseball player. Okay, I'll stop with that. He wasn't the most liked baseball player amongst the players, but I believe that fans loved and adored Rickey Henderson. Many of his own teammates didn't like him. He was cocky, brash, and did all these things his own way. And he was famous for refusing to play when he felt he was not 100%. But think about it. He's sacrificing his body, running into the base like full speed, giving it his all to, potentially get injured. I think Rickey Henderson has a right to not play when he feels like he might get injured or he's not 100%, because the physical toll that his body takes when he's stealing bases probably more than other people. I actually think it worked for him since he ended up playing 25 years. I think he knew his body better than anyone else, and can't hate him for that. And I have not met a single collector who hates Rickey Henderson. As a collector, I give him, in the collectability category, I give him a 20 out of 20. And then finally, the X Factor. X Factor doesn't just describe him or the player, but the actual card itself too. For this criteria, I think this card is unique. I think the fact that it captures his signature batting stance from the side angle, and the way the A's banner angles up, going up this way, makes it look dynamic. And you know, the outfield, you know, his position banners like on the other side, it makes it look dynamic. It also, once again, it has a retro charm that shines through. It's kind of like the West Coast flavor. So for the X Factor, for this card, I don't think Rickey Henderson has like a side batting stance. I don't know, I may be wrong, don't quote me on this, but out of his like really famous cards, I don't think they have a side profile like his batting stance card as one of his main cards. And you know, so this was unique for me. I think for X Factor, I give him an overall score of 18 out of 20 with all the scores added together. It is a 79 out of 100, or a grade of 7.9. It's a great card. I believe that, you know, anyone who's a serious collector, and especially those who grew up around the modern baseball age, and you know, even like recent baseball collectors, to you guys this might be a vintage card to you guys, but technically it's a modern card. I believe this is a must-have. I think everyone should have a copy of this card, as Rickey Henderson is the GOAT of base stealing, and in my opinion, he is the greatest leadoff hitter. If it was just on base percentage, he's not, but on top of on base, he's stealing bases like it's nothing, you know, like taking candy from a baby. So altogether, a must-have card. Final Boss endorsed Rickey Henderson, the GOAT of leadoff. No one's gonna ever come close. There it is. So I hope you guys like this card review, and get yourself a copy of this card, even if it's like a low grade. A 10 is gonna go for, I don't know how much, like 100,000. I don't know. It's really expensive because they're so rare. But get a copy of this card anyway. Get a 1. It doesn't matter. Just get one copy, and you won't regret it. I think this is going to be one of the bigger cards in the coming years, probably next decade or whatever. It's going to be one of the bigger cards. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this. Have a good day. Take care. God bless. See you soon. Bye.